Even if you're not familiar with the term cheese pull, you've definitely seen more than one of them. It's an old trick, we'll explain.
Rolling luggage is a mysteriously recent invention. Now, why did something so obvious take so long to come to our rescue?
The Scorpion and the Frog is a fable that purports to teach us a lesson about the inevitability of human nature. What happens in the fable and why is it controversial?
And finally, in this episode, we look at the origin of the peace symbol. You might be surprised about how it came about.
Hello and welcome to REMORANDOM, celebration of uncommon knowledge and everything interesting. I'm Remo Dufresne.
And I'm Claudia Chanshaw.
So
Howdy,
Claudia,
Remo.
you notice I've slipped that uncommon knowledge in there. I just didn't want to always say the same thing. Got to mix it up a bit.
I like it. Uncommon knowledge. That makes you sound special and clever.
It sounds better than Knowledge McNuggets, don't you think?
Yeah, knowledge McNuggets. Uncommon knowledge, though. That's good. No, it's common knowledge that blah, blah, blah. Now, this is uncommon knowledge.
I know. And everything
I like it.
Got good. Phew. Well, I mentioned McNuggets and I could smell the frying food, which kind of is not a bad lead-in to the first topic today, which is cheese pull.
Oh.
So, you know what that is? You probably do. The visually appealing stretch of melted cheese when a food dish, often involving melted or gooey cheese, is pulled apart. So it's, dare I say, a phenomenon that has gained significant cultural attention in recent years, especially on social media platforms where food content is, one of the things that is most widely shared and celebrated. So this stretchy cheese effect is very prominent in things like pizza, grilled cheese sandwiches, and quesadillas. So the cultural history of it, it's been around for a while as a way to, trick people into wanting to eat the food. But especially, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, people started sharing videos and photos of themselves pulling apart cheesy dishes for whatever reason, and highlighting that kind of gooey, tantalizing quality of the melted cheese. And it's very visually satisfying. It's, as it happens, so it appears, very shareable, and it captured the attention of viewers. So it's been an effective advertising tool that kind of became more prominent and ubiquitous in the mid-2010s. Journalist Bettina McAlintal, in a story for Vice in 2019, writes, "Cheese pulls are active acts of manipulation, trying to sucker your neurons into wanting something that probably won't taste as good as it looks." So advertisers are communicating with that part of the brain that's nonverbal, the primal core of being that doesn't understand words but responds to hunger, thirst, arousal, desire. The cheese pull can trigger, quote unquote, deep-seated memories of food experiences to signal an enjoyable experience in you, says Uma Karmakar, assistant professor of marketing at Harvard Business School. So cheese pull's probably here to stay. But some say it's already become a little bit passé and somewhat hackneyed online in the world of online food culture. And taken to an extreme, cheese pulls can actually look kind of gross. I mean, they can. In September 2023, on National Guacamole Day, did you know that?
No. I that one passed me by.
As a publicity stunt, Doritos, the snack brand, organized for a helicopter to carry a 4-meter long chip and to dip it into cheese and then raise it up. And it didn't break until the chip was raised 15 meters. So That was the Guinness World Record, biggest, longest ever cheese pull. So
that is huge.
that's very uncommon knowledge. That one.
That is.
But the trick, finally, just to conclude here, the trick of the cheese pull is not just limited to that one food substance. The sweating bottle of soft drink, the slow beer pour. I'm talking about you, Guinness, and that glossy hair flip. I don't know if you can do one of those.
My hair's too short.
All come from that same playbook. But that kind
of and the dribbling the solo down the tune of the solo man. Glug, 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 glug.
Well, now I feel like a Guinness now. Anyway.
So you quoted the woman who said, the cheese pull was about all these warm and fuzzy memories you have about food that was equally gooey. I have an adverse reaction to the cheese pull. I was sitting in, do you remember Roosevelt's in Oxford Street, not far from Remo General Store? Was it Roosevelt's that had the gridiron players coming out of the walls?
Oh,
that cafe.
Yep. Was it Roosevelt's? I can't remember.
Something like that. I was there with my girlfriends from college, after college one day, and we had some pizza. And the pizza had this big, long cheese pull. So I'm trying to eat the pizza, but the cheese pull got caught in my throat.
Oh, no.
And I was choking on the cheese pull, and all the while trying to not gag in front of my friends and be rude, but I was like, I'm dying here. So I have a very negative association with the cheese pull. So when it's on my pizza, I want to cut it, make it short.
Mozzarella. Well,
choking on mozzarella.
Couldn't they just pull it out like a fishing line? Oh.
And I'd be like the fish.
Well, that's good. I thought you were going to talk about, being scalded by the molten cheese, but that's even worse, being choked.
Yeah. Yeah, because, we've just demonstrated that can be, many, many meters long. So that's going down my gullet and I'm going,
Melanie doesn't like cheese on pizza, and always, if ever we order a pizza, she orders the pizza and says, "Oh, but no cheese." And then the waiter invariably looks very confused because the whole kind of quintessential element of the pizza is cheese.
Yes, it's sprinkled on top. Well, so sorry to share my culinary choking with you.
Traumatized.
But that's cheese pulls, not necessarily a great association for me. But I do like luggage with wheels. I can remember the first suitcase I had with wheels was in the late 1980s, I think. Prior to that, we had been schlepping our samples around the United States in giant duffel bags, and I had to buy little portable trolleys to put the duffel bags on with ocky straps to move them around the big airports. But then along comes luggage with wheels, and aren't we celebrating? But it's a pretty recent invention. It's more
very
recent
confusing.
than you would imagine.
It's very confusing as to why it is.
Yeah, it is. It's so simple. So while the world's celebrating man's first steps on the moon in 1969, we're still schlepping our suitcases around. So why did something so obvious take so long to make our lives easy? It's not like we had to reinvent the wheel. We just had to attach the wheel to something else. So anyway, maybe it was due to demand. Maybe it was because more people were starting to travel. Maybe because a lot of travelers were women and it was hard to schlep your bag around or fight people over a trolley or find the denomination of the foreign currency so you could put a coin in a slot when you arrived.
To get the trolley.
What a dumb idea that was. Airports became bigger and bigger and bigger. So in 1970, Bernard D. Sado, who was the vice president of a Massachusetts luggage company, had a eureka moment. So he's struggling with these two giant suitcases on his way home from a family holiday. And he noticed when he got to customs how the airport worker could easily move a heavy piece of machinery on a wheeled pallet. And he thought, and he said to his wife, honey, this is what we need for the luggage. So he goes back to work and he takes casters from a wardrobe trunk and he puts them on a big suitcase and he puts a strap on the suitcase so you could pull it along. It's like pulling a little doggy along. So he registered the rolling luggage. But such a great idea. You know, it didn't take off really, really quickly. People don't like change, he said. So he spent many, many months rolling his bags along to different department stores to try and sell them. And thankfully, finally, Macy's places a big order and it's magic. And they promote luggage that glides. But was he the first to come up with the idea? Maybe not. Back in 1954, a Polish artist and serial inventor named Alfred Krupa might have actually invented the first suitcase on wheels. But he did not pursue it. So, you know, we've only got his word. So can you think of other things that are blindingly obvious, but for some reason haven't yet taken part in our lives? You know, you maybe just start with a wheel and think of something that you can attach it to.
Attach it to, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what about salt and pepper on wheels? Pass the salt.
What about wave top garbage bags? Wave top.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a very good idea. Open sesame. Open Sesquin.
Or
open sarsaparilla.
Or fried Mars bar. Yeah. No, maybe
on
not.
On wheels.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I actually have salt and pepper shakers that are wind up. So you go, and they've got little feet, and they go, dit, 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 and they walk across the table.
Across the table. Oh, okay.
Yeah, very cute.
Let me get back to you on the obvious innovation thing, but
if you give me a fried Mars bar, I might choke on the caramel because it's got too warm.
Is that mozzarella cheese in that Mars bar?
If you're just pleased to see me.
Got to look after you.
I know. I'm such a delicate little flower.
You got to chew your food.
Oh, that's the problem. Okay, don't be such a garbage guts.
Okay, next up is
what you got?
Change of pace. The scorpion and the frog.
Oh.
So this is a fable, and it's a fable about a scorpion, deadly scorpion, asking a frog to carry him across a river. The frog is afraid of being stung by the scorpion. But the scorpion argues, hey, look, if I sting you, you're going to sink and I'm also going to drown. So why would I do that? So the frog agrees and begins to carry the scorpion across the river. And about halfway across the river, the scorpion does indeed sting the frog, dooming them both. The dying frog asks the scorpion why it stung, despite knowing the consequence, to which the scorpion replies, I'm sorry, but I couldn't resist the urge. It's in my nature. What a cop-out. So the earliest known appearance of this fable is the 1933 Russian novel, The German Quarter by Lev Nitterberg. And it also appears in a 1944 novel called The Hunter of the Pamirs. So that's the earliest reference of it in English. But it's probably best known in the English-speaking world and was made famous by Orson Welles in a film in 1955 called Mr. Arcaden. And it's a soliloquy by the villain, played by Orson Welles. And, he talks about, this fable, and he believes that frankness gives the scorpion a certain charm and tragic dignity, and he attributes a similar strength of character to himself as Arcaden, even though he's kind of objectively evil, sex trafficking murderer, as it happens. I know.
Nice.
But he's, Wells admired his frankness. So there's also a Persian fable dating back to the 1500s, but has a turtle in place of the frog. And the turtle survives the scorpion's sting thanks to its protective shell. Anyway, I won't talk too much about that Persian fable copycat scenario, but there's a lesson here, but there's two opposing points of view, and it's all about human nature and can we fight it. So in a 2018 Medium post entitled "The Scorpion and the Frog: Relationships, Interactions and Expectations." So Medium's the kind of place you can write stuff like that and people will read it. Stephen McCall lays the blame with the frog when he says, "Scorpions will do scorpion shit. We really can't be mad at a scorpion for acting like a scorpion. Instead, it's on us to do a better job of controlling who we let into our lives and who we spend our time and energy on. It's our job to pay more attention. But," and there's a big but here, "not everyone agrees with this message." In a 2013 article in The Intellectual Standard entitled "The Scorpion and the Frog, A False Narrative of Human Nature," Karen Silverman and Jarrett Kanarek object to the implication that people are born with baked-in behaviours and reckon that, quote, "Perhaps the true moral of this tale is that unlike the scorpion, man is not like the rest of the animal kingdom. He is the rational animal and has free will." So two very different points of view. You know, when I wrote this chapter, I was kind of thinking, personalizing a little bit to myself, because I've been an entrepreneur my whole working life, which as a self-employed person, you know, has its ups and downs. And during some of the downs, it's kind of like, and I'm being my wife here, "Hey, darling, maybe you should just get a job." And to which I would say, "Okay, yeah, maybe that's a good idea. That's the ticket." So then I would spend, you know, a week or two polishing up the CV, making it sound amazing, maybe get an interview here and there, and sitting in the interview talking about trying to rationalize the fact that I've been an entrepreneur for such a long time, saying, "Yeah, but I've learned all this stuff and now I want to leverage it and maximize it for the benefit of, you know, to scale it, you know, in the context of a larger organization, and your organization is just so great. I really admire what the stuff you're doing." And meanwhile, I can feel that bead of sweat starting to gather on my cheek, like that guy in the what's that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger on Mars? Total Recall, right?
Oh, yeah, Total Recall.
When the doctor says, "You're in a dream now. Put the gun down. You're in a dream now," and Schwarzenegger's got the gun to his face and he's about to relent until he sees that bead of sweat start to roll down the cheek, and that's when he blows the guy's brains out. Yeah, so I feel that sweat, and I know the gig is up, and I know that they can see through me, that my nature is not to be a cog in their machine, and yeah, so that's my little side story there.
You know what the problem is? When you go for a job interview, do not think about Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's the only advice I have for you.
I thought you were going to say wear lots of deodorant.
Maybe leave Arnie at the door. Park him.
Do you have a point of view on that one?
Well, interesting, because you know, when there's a shark attack, you know, you're a man who swims at Bondi every day, and you will be aware that you are stepping into a realm of other creatures. So when a shark attacks, let's kill the shark. It is the shark's nature to bite.
Yes.
So
yeah,
what do you do?
Good example.
Yeah. So and a man, personhood, knows that the minute you step into that realm, that is not your realm. That is their realm.
Sharks want to do
and
shark shit.
You are visiting. Yep. Sharks want to do shark shit. So there you are. That's my bomb for that. You could always, if you're about to be stung by a scorpion or bitten by a shark, and you can see it coming, you can always go, and these are the people watching the video, "Peace, man.
Peace, man.
Peace.
She's got the two-finger peace sign.
Peace." As opposed to the victory sign. Because a peace sign.
Well, I think you're talking about the peace sign, the fingers, or the peace symbol with the...
Oh, well, I was humanizing the peace symbol, because I'm going to tell you about the peace symbol,
the peace,
which is kind of like the Mercedes logo, but not.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, with another little line in it. So the peace symbol, as opposed to the peace sign, that was my segue there, Remo. You know,
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
humanizing it.
I stepped on your segue. Sorry.
You stepped on my segue. I'm going to get my shark onto you.
Remo needs to do Remo shit. Go on.
Because it is his nature to interrupt.
Mm.
So the peace symbol, as in symbol, started life as a symbol for the British anti-nuclear movement in 1958, which is very interesting. It was designed by a fellow called Gerald Holtham, and he presented it to the Direct Action Committee on 21st of Feb 1958. And they used it as branding for this great long 84-kilometre march from Trafalgar Square in London to the Atomic Weapons Research Establishment at Aldermaston in Berkshire. Long way, big walk. And that turns out to be Britain's first major demonstration against nuclear weapons. So the peace symbol is a superimposition of the semaphore flag symbols for the letters N and D, standing for nuclear disarmament. And the circle around it represents the Earth. So you're following me there?
Yes, nice.
So Holtham was also inspired by the Spanish artist Francisco Goya's painting of the 3rd of May, 1808, where a Spanish peasant freedom fighter is about to be massacred by a French firing squad, and he's holding up his arms as an assertion of his victimhood and humanity. Now, in the painting, unfortunately, the arms in the painting are pointing the wrong way, up and not
Oopsie.
down. So Holtham tries to backtrack and have the symbol used upside down, with the U standing for universal or unilateral, taking the place of the N for nuclear. But it was all too late. So put that out of your mind. Step back, too late. So the symbol's already off and running. It's in the real world. In 1960, it becomes famous all over the world when an American student called Philip Altbach persuades the Student Peace Union to adopt it. So by the end of the 1960s, it's become this universal symbol of peace and possibly the world's most used protest symbol. There's a fellow who's a peace symbol historian. Now, that is one of those jobs that I think would be obsolete. What do you do for a crust, mate? Well, I'm a peace symbol historian, but in the job interview, I was thinking about Arnold Schwarzenegger, so I never got the job. But he said, you know what? A 5-year-old can draw it. It's such a powerful symbol with a sort of hypnotic appeal. So the symbol has influenced many, many artists over the years. And after the 2015 Paris terror attacks, the fabulous French artist Jean Julien reimagined the design using a shape of the Eiffel Tower in a mashup that went viral very, very quickly. So, peace, man.
Nice, man. No. Who knew that? That was great. Nuclear disarmament.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And semaphore flags.
That's right. Upside down, even.
Upside down pineapple. Yeah, the upside down peace symbol was never going to fly as an idea.
No. I thought they just looked at the Mercedes symbol and put a little extra stroke in and went, oh, we'll have that.
Okay, man. That's
Okay,
it.
man.
That's it for today. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Subscribe. Go to our Substack. Check out the episodes. Go to YouTube, REMORANDOM.com, and what else? Buy the books.
Buy a book. Buy a book or four.
Yeah.
Because you too could be sitting up in bed.
Nearly
reading.
5. Yeah.
Yeah. And you might have great ideas from some topics for these special stories. So contact us, hello@remorandum.com, with your great ideas. We're waiting right now.
I know. Standing by. Stocks are limited. See you, Claudia.
See you, Remo.
Bye.